The Karvathi warship Bloodclaw hadn't expected to find anything alive on the derelict human colony ship. They certainly hadn't expected to find Elif Commander Thraknor. His scaled hide bearing the scars of 100 battles stood at the threshold of the ship's nursery section, his predatory eyes widening in disbelief. Before him, a human female, small, fragile by any warrior species standard, sat cross-legged on the floor. Around her, nestled against her sides and curled in her lap, were 7 Karvathi cubs, not human children. Karvathi cubs with their needle-sharp teeth and retractable claws, purring like the apex predators they would one day become. "Step away from the younglings," Thraknor growled, his weapon raised. Elif looked up, exhaustion carved into every line of her face. "They'll cry if I move," she said simply, her voice hoarse. "They've been through enough." The commander's translator stumbled over the words. No prey species spoke with such casual authority when facing a Karvathi warrior. He signaled his squad to sweep the rest of the derelict, but his eyes never left the human. "How are you alive?" he demanded. "This ship has been drifting for 3 cycles. Our scans showed no functioning life support." Elif gently stroked the head of the smallest cub who had begun to whimper. "I made it function. Enough for the nursery section anyway." She nodded toward the corner where jury-rigged systems hummed and sparked. "The rest of the ship? Couldn't save everyone." Thraknor's tactical officer Adam entered the nursery. Unlike his commander, he was young, his scales still bright with youth's iridescence. His gaze swept across the scene, the makeshift heating units, the empty food containers with both human and Karvathi labels, the small human carefully arranging blankets around sleeping cubs. "Commander," Adam said quietly, studying a datapad. "The ship's logs? They were attacked by Zelthrian raiders. The adult Karvathi were passengers, refugees from the Outer Rim conflict. They were killed defending the ship. This human, Elif Yilmaz, civilian engineer, she was the only adult survivor. The cubs should have died within days without their parents," Thraknor said, his weapon lowering slightly. "We do not survive on substitute milk and warmth. We need the pack bond, the presence," Elif interrupted softly. "Yes, I read your species' biological requirements in the ship's database. You need to feel protected to thrive, to know someone is watching over you." She smiled, sad and tired. "Turns out presence doesn't care about species. It just cares that someone is there." Adam stepped closer, his scientific curiosity overriding protocol. "You bonded with them? That's unprecedented. The pack bond is psionic. Humans don't have psionic capabilities, don't we?" Elif shifted, settling a cub who'd started to wake. "Maybe we just use a different frequency. They were scared, alone, crying for parents who couldn't come, so I held them. I sang to them. I stayed awake for 3 days straight, making sure they kept breathing." Her eyes met Adam's, and he saw something there that made his warrior's heart clench. Not weakness, but a strength forged in absolute determination. Maybe the pack bond isn't about telepathy. Maybe it's just about refusing to let someone die alone. The smallest cub, no bigger than a human infant, crawled onto Elif's shoulder, nuzzling her neck. Without thinking, she adjusted her position to support its weight, her hand coming up to steady it. The gesture was so instinctive, so practiced, that Thraknor felt his breath catch. "They call you something," Adam said, checking his translator's logs of the cub's vocalizations. Repeatedly. "The closest translation is..." He paused, his scales flushing with color. "Cub mother?" "I'm not their mother," Elif said quickly. I'm just someone who was here." "No." Thraknor lowered his weapon completely. In his long life, he had seen many types of courage. The courage of warriors facing death, of pilots navigating impossible odds. But this was different. This was a prey species, alone, injured, and afraid, choosing to protect the young of another race rather than escape in what functioning pods remained. "You are exactly what the title claims." He activated his comm. "Medical team to the derelict nursery section. Bring incubation units and full pediatric support. And someone contact the Karvathi Council. Tell them." He looked at Elif, at this impossibly fragile human who had done what should have been impossible. "Tell them we found their missing cubs. Tell them a human kept them alive." Elif sagged with relief, and for the first time Thraknor saw how close to collapse she truly was. "You'll take care of them?" she whispered. They need family. Real family." "They have family," Adam said gently, kneeling beside her. "And when word of this reaches our homeworld, you will too. The Karvathi do not forget debts of blood and bond. You saved 7 cubs at the cost of your own survival. That makes you Pack Elif Yilmaz, whether you claim the title or not. As the medical team arrived and began carefully transferring the cubs to proper care units, each one cried and reached for Elif. And each time, she soothed them with words they couldn't understand but felt in their bones, the presence that had kept them alive, refusing to let them slip into the dark. Later, when Elif had been treated and the cubs safely secured, Thraknor found Adam in the observation deck, watching the human sleep in the medical bay through the viewport. The council will want to honor her, Adam said. This will change how we see humans. It should change how we see ourselves, Thraknor replied. We claim to be the greatest warriors in the galaxy, but that human did what an entire warship could not. She protected the helpless with nothing but her will to do so. He placed a clawed hand on his officer's shoulder. Remember this, Adam. Strength is not always measured in weapons or scales. Sometimes it's measured in who you choose to become when everything else is taken away. In the nursery section of the Blood Claw, 7 cubs slept peacefully, dreaming of the human who had refused to let them go, and in the medical bay, Elif Yilmaz slept too, unaware that she had just become a legend. They called her Cub Mother, and though she was human, and though she never claimed the title, it was hers nonetheless, earned not through blood or biology, but through the most human trait of all, the stubborn, impossible choice to care.